Don't wait for tomorrow. Live for today. Keep chasing the sunshine and go out and play.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to another JK Deal Reveal Key to Freedom edition, where we're going to show you how you can get involved in some U.S. properties, how it doesn't take a master's degrees, or you don't have to be a rocket scientist or a mathematician to make these numbers work. So I just came out of a 15-minute power nap, so I'm full of energy. It was quite the day today. But that's a story for another call. And I think I will make a call about it at one point. Um, there's opportunities everywhere on both sides of the border, but we're getting started today with the deal reveal. So for those of you who've never attended a deal reveal, we're going to look at a deal. It may be a deal, may not be a deal, but the goal here is in a very short amount of time, in a matter of minutes, we size up this deal, we size up this opportunity, and decide if it's worthwhile putting more time and moving forward in a more thorough negotiation and putting it under contract, getting it inspected, and eventually maybe add it to our investing portfolio. So that's what we do here. A few little updates. There's been a lot going on since January 1st and today. So let's quickly go through it in the JK community and the JK brand. Tonight, right after the deal reveal on our premium mastery call, we are finishing up the very first program of the year called the New Year's Revolution, where we are going to do some vision pacing. So not only have we already identified all of our visions for our life, all the goals for the year, all the motivations as to why we want those things in our year and in our life, today we are going to put them on the calendar and really make sure that we don't overwhelm ourselves with all these amazing ambitions and dreams and intentions that we have for our year and our life. So that's happening. We're finishing up the program tonight. Very excited. Then Tuesday night, we actually finished master negotiations. So that we did in the month of January as well. So we covered over 50 negotiation strategies, techniques, tips, tricks, and scripts to get you going. We're going to continue on. For those of you in the investor portfolio bundle who have all these programs here, we're going to continue on with multifamily manifestation, so how to manifest multifamily investments into your portfolio, and the mindset miracle of millionaires. We are going to go on that next. And so that's that. And if you haven't already sampled the Health, Wealth, and Abundance morning entrepreneurship call, this is our morning wake-up call for the very first time. It's at 9 a.m. Eastern, not 6 a.m., so that our West Coasters can have the 6 a.m. wake-up call. And so if you haven't attended any of these or all of these, you want more information, it's all on Facebook in our guides section, or you can send us an email at info@nowfortomorrow.club. So, deal reveal today. Like I mentioned, this is part of our Key to Freedom series. I think every call, if not all but one this year on our deal reveals, have been Key to Freedoms. And this is how, on one side, a passive investor can just buy a property and get a very, very predictable, potentially even tax-free return if they're using their RSPs or their tax-free savings account, even from Canada into the US. And then on the other side, there's an active Key to Freedom member who is going to be the renter and who's going to do a rental arbitrage, who's going to furnish it, manage it, and basically do some short-term rentals out of that property so that everybody ends up winning in the process. A very, very exciting thing. So today, this is the deal, and we're getting excited for it, I think, because it's actually a deal that's under contract. It's part of the Key to Freedom program series, and it's a real deal. So let me know if this is something that you would, theoretically be interested in. So we're going to analyze it very quickly. We're going to see how the numbers are probably better than what you'd see in your backyard, and we're going to thank Tony for bringing this to the forefront. I want to spend a little minute on Tony. Let's see if he's on board today here, Tony. See if he's on the call. He's not. But what's really interesting with Tony is actually he is a realtor. He is one of our realtors in Cleveland, and this property was on market. Okay, and so for the Key to Freedom series, what's really interesting is suddenly we can look at closer to market value properties. We can look into better neighborhoods with higher price points. We have to crunch some numbers to make sure they still work. But the type of properties that we're looking for in the Key to Freedom series, the Key to Freedom program, are nicer and closer to turnkey, closer to market value properties. And so suddenly looking on market, we're not expecting 30% off market value here, but the numbers can still work. So this is a property that was on market that's currently under contract. I actually personally walked through the property already, so I've got a little bit of a scoop for you. But here it is, 3135 West 31st Street in Cleveland for $139,900. Let's see if this is a deal or no deal. So let's jump in. Let's see if I've saved my address in there. So start the timer, off we go. So we have this property. It could be a good idea for you to get started on realtor.com or Zillow, one of those big fish websites, just to scope out what this property is about. Redfin could be another one. I like Realtor because it has 3 different property valuation softwares involved. So this is the property. You'll notice that it was asking $149,000, and we have it under contract for $139,000. So a little bit of a discount. You can't expect crazy discounts from on-market properties, but here it goes. It's advertised as a 6'2", 6,000 square foot property. Okay, it's massive. And actually, this is wrong. It's not a 6'2", it is a 10'2", okay? Something we have to attend to. Okay, that was just bad, sorry. So on the market for 91 days, it has some age to it. And on the MLS, in the listing description, it was very clear that this property had 10 bedrooms. 10 bedrooms. 7 on one side, 3 on the other. Duplex property. So golden rules of real estate. First, we want to see, what is this property worth? Okay, we've got some different estimations here. It's funny how all 3 are kind of lining up right now in the present at 150. Okay, actually, I should go about here. So if you look here while my cursor is there, okay, these are the estimations of the property's value today: 148, 147, 151. So right around, and current listed at 149, under contract for 139. So it's looking like, and the trend isn't crazy, this doesn't look like to be a completely outrageous outlier number. Looks like the value for this property is about 150. Looks like, okay? And we have it for 139. So maybe a little bit of a discount happening there. So buy at a discount is rule number 1, but we're going to go see something. We're going to go see where this property is located here. It is in the northeast quadrant of the Clark-Fulton area, just off Clark Avenue, bordering Tremont and Ohio City up here. Now, if you don't know Cleveland and you don't know the short-term rental game, let me tell you a little something. Ohio City, in this order: Ohio City, Tremont, then we have University Circle, Lakewood, and then proximity to the lake anywhere. And then if you can find some outlier properties near the downtown core, like in the Midtown corridor on a nice street, those are like the 5-6 pockets where you will have the best returns for short-term rentals in Cleveland, because we're close to downtown, close to touristy, cultural, music venues, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, down the major league sports teams, the casino, etc. And so although it's not in Tremont, it's right at the border of Ohio City and Tremont, right along this Clark Boulevard here, which has had some incredible expansion in this hospital here. It has tripled in size in the last 5 years, the Metro Health clinic here, and everything in proximity to this line, bordering this by like 2-3 streets out, has seen a really big boosts and some booms in property value. So even if this is worth, this probably honestly was probably worth 50,000 5 years ago, and now it's worth 150. And seeing it's proximal to Ohio City and Tremont, there's properties there that are selling for 300,000-400,000. Okay, it's like normal prices there. And we're right on the fringe. And so it has no choice. The prices are so high that it's starting to expand out. So it's in an area where prices could, it is speculation, but could, and we've already seen them increase. Okay. So rule one, buy at a discount, a little discount, and there's future speculation on increase in value. Wonderful. Second is the rent, right? What kind of rent can we get in this area? So on one side of the duplex, we have a 3-bedroom. So let's see what we can get off that. About $1,000, right? About $1,000 for that 3-bedroom. And on the other side, we have a 7-bedroom. Okay, actually has 2 baths. On the other side, 2 full baths. So there's not enough data to support this search. Okay, so maybe even just go down a little bit to get enough data. All right, just the 5-bedroom is renting somewhere around the 1,700, lower the medium and the average here. Okay, so a 7-bedroom, maybe it's a $2,000 there. So right around a 3,000. These would be long-term rents here. So real quick, if we have 3,000 a month coming in times 12, 36, we use our 55% rule because we're in Cleveland, right? Enter, please. 20,000, and we're paying 150 for the property. Well, 140, but there will be, if we were doing long-term tenants, we'd probably have to put a little bit into it. Wouldn't hurt to put 20,000 into it at the least. All right, so we're right around a 12 cap with long-term tenants. So the original deal reveal stands. Are we buying at a discount? Are we buying cash flow? Is this a deal or no deal for you so far? So let's let a couple people chime in here and see what this has going on for it. Deal or no deal? I'm going fast because there's a part 2 to this call. Deal or no deal? Is this good? We're buying a little bit under discount in a booming area of Cleveland, or on the fringe of a booming area, and we're long-term tenanting somewhere around a 12 cap. All right, AZ's not sure. Need more data. Oh, but now he's sure. He says yes, and Chris says it's a deal as well. Okay. AZ, deal. Okay, fantastic. Thank you for chiming in there. But this would be the standard. That's so 2022, right? That's deal reveal JK 2022. You said this could be a Key to Freedom property. Tell me more about that. Well, for someone who'd be interested in this property and the Key to Freedom, they'd go ahead and they'd invest passively and get their 8% in a tax-deferred or tax-free savings environment and rent to another member of the community for in a lease option where they'd line up a sale in 2 to 3 years, and so they'd make the 8% and the profit on the sale down the road. Maybe we can agree that it's going to be sold for 175, or at 5% above the appraised value in 2 years. Like, that's all part of the negotiation. There's some wiggle room there, but there's a future profit on top of the current cash flow and return in the tax savings, tax-free environment. But how about from the active member? So this is how it plays out. This is how it gets really exciting for everybody here. It is a duplex, okay? And there's 7 bedrooms on one side. The plan for this property is that the active Key to Freedom member is going to live in the 3-bedroom, okay, and pay rent for the entire building, right? But they could even live in one side if they wanted to, and oversee the short-term renting of the 7-bedroom next door. Okay, a 7-bedroom next door, which can be rented by the room for 7 rooms, or as the entire place for 7 freaking bedrooms, easily accommodating 14 people in that living space. Okay, and so now we're entering into short-term rental space. So let's go take a look at, I mean, if you have your AirDNA subscription for Cleveland, you can really have fun and look at the top properties. By the way, the top property in Cleveland right now is generating $250,000 a year, and it's a 3-bedroom. Okay, just so you know, there's some wonky things happening. And look where it is, right in Tremont, pretty close to where we're looking at here, right? But not comparable. I get it. What if we wanted to we wanted to see how the best one bedrooms that accommodate 2 to 4 people, how much do those rent for in Cleveland? And I could be even more specific and put the specific zip code of the property we're considering, but look at this. Okay, this 1 bedroom, 1 bath. Oh, excuse, it's an entire home. I'd have to go to a private room because we're renting by the room here. All right. The very top end property, look at this, is in Ohio City. If you see the bouncing dots here, the top 2, these are room rentals that are generating $35,000 and $33,000 a year. This is the same property, understand? These are 2 rooms in the same property. Just those 2 rooms are generating $67,000 a year. But they're outliers. They are the most top performing properties. We have here in University Circle, a 1 bedroom generating 21. Here in Lakewood, generating 20. Here in the Midtown Corridor, generating 19. This is 1 bedroom, by the way. How many do we have in this area? 7, okay? This one is in University Circle for 17. This one's in Tremont for 17. So if you do a decent enough job, you can like basically generate 15,000 a year, over $1,000 per room per month. Per room per month. Yeah, you got it. You got it, Kyle. Good job. All right. So that's pretty crazy stuff, right? 7 bedrooms. And when the active Key to Freedom member who may or may not be living next door decides to go on vacation or go, they can rent out that whole other 3 bedroom as well to further increase the their spread on the deal. So let's run some very conservative numbers just to see how this would play out. So let's say we rent a room for $50 a night. All right, it's a private room. It's not a crazy hotel. $50 is a good average. We've rented rooms for over 100 and almost $150 a night in high season, and on low season we rented rooms as low as $30 a night. But let's say on average 50, I think is a rather conservative number. So $50 a night, 30 days a month. You obviously don't rent it all the time. I'm going to put a 70% occupancy on the room rentals. Oh, look at that. We have $1,000 of revenue coming in a month per room, right? Times 7. $7,000 a month could be generated off one side of this duplex. What's the struggle for this property is that we need, it's room rentals. There's might be a lot of people. It really helps to have an on-site person. And who do we have next door? The active Key to Freedom member who's super, super happy to get involved. They are going to eventually be able to buy this property in a couple years. And ideally, they're also handling the cleanings for these 7 bedrooms. And so this is just the room rental rate. On top of this, a guest would pay for a cleaning, probably $20 to $40 per stay. Okay. And so that's an additional revenue stream for the active Key to Freedom member on site to completely pay for their rent or anything. Basically, they can live. This is their job, is to oversee this property for 2 years, cash flow, live for free, have a very easy and low difficulty job, and eventually buy an income producing property that could generate over 7, 8, 9,000 a month off this property. Okay, so that's what we have. This is a property that is under contract. It is an outlier having 7 bedrooms on one side, but $50 a night, 70% occupancy. These are just numbers that I would expect are reasonable. What we're going to do in this property is theme the rooms. Every single room is going to have a different theme. It's leaning towards a music theme because Cleveland has the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. By the way, the property is right here and the Hall of Fame is right here on the map. Okay, so it's about a centimeter away if you look on my screen. And so it's not right beside, but it's rather pretty close. It's closer than even University Circle is. So it is proximal. And it's very easy to theme one bedroom. One bedroom can be Elvis. The other bedroom can be the Beatles. The other bedroom can be this or that. So it's just amazing the things you can do. And they're bedrooms. It doesn't cost $50,000 to theme a bedroom. Well, not in Cleveland anyways, not the way we're going to do it. And so that $50 a night, what if it consistently becomes $75 a night, $80, $90 a night for a room rental? Okay, how are those numbers going to change? So this is the power of the Key to Freedom. We have a property that's basically at retail market value. Maybe you get a little discount, maybe you don't, but we're basically at retail value. But it doesn't matter all that much because we're getting involved in a short-term rental with very, very large spreads on the cash flow. But the backup plan is long-term rentals, and we're still at a 12 cap. Okay, that's not bad at all in my books. So that's it. We have a passive member who's getting their flat return, very, very predictable. They don't want to put any work, so their money's going to work and they'll know what's coming. And the active member is the one who is going to be on the ground doing the stuff and ultimately having the back end of starting to build a portfolio with little or no money out of their own pocket. They're putting in the elbow grease and the sweat equity to do it. Okay, so that's it. Is this a deal or no deal for our Key to Freedom series? Do we like this one? Right. Full disclosure, if we're going to bring it up to that standard of $75 a night and really make it all nice and glam, we're going to update all the electrical. We're going to put 2 washers and dryers in the basement. We're going to either reduct the 3rd floor because there's not ducts that go all the way to the top. So we'll have to either reduct so that there's heat and cooling going all the way to the top, or put thermal pumps for the 3rd floor, 3 bedrooms on the 3rd floor. So there's going to be some renovations and some costs to do this. The 7 bedrooms they're functional, right? They're actually very similar to something like this. And they're already furnished, by the way. It's already being rented by the room, this property, just with long-term, non-short-term, like long-term, month-to-month, week-to-week tenants. So all the rooms are already okay. The common areas need love, and the general amenities need love. And then the AC and the electrical are the big ticket items for this property. So, deal or no deal? Deal or no deal now? Is it a double deal? So let me know what you think on that. Okay, AZ says it sounds like a deal. Well, it was a deal before. Let's say thank you, AZ. I appreciate you. Anybody else? Anybody else got converted on this call? Another advantage is the properties above above 100, 110,000 are easier to get financing for. So if your mortgage is over 75,000, it's easier. There's more options to finance and refinance. When you're dealing with room rentals like this, which I wouldn't say get involved unless you have an on-site point of contact or manager to do this, like the Key to Freedom member, because it would be good to have immediate response if something were to go a little bit sideways. But from a marketing perspective, you got 7 bedrooms. You can make 7 listings, obviously. And then you can make a big listing for all 7. If someone wants to rent all 7 bedrooms at the same time and have the entire place to themselves, why not? But then you can market 2 rooms, 3 rooms, just the 3rd floor, just the 2nd floor. So you could create a whole bunch of listings that'll cater to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 14 guests. So you're going to have a lot more market exposure when someone looks in proximity to Tremont and Ohio City, because that's where they want to go for their vacation in Cleveland, as odd as that might sound. Who knows how many guests are in their parties, and they're going to see a big cluster right around your property. Oh, this is a good place. And they'll be able to book one of them, right? So you're going to create a lot more visibility by virtue of having so many listings for the same property in the same rooms, which is a nice benefit. To that same effect, we can rent both sides for 10 bedrooms. And how many 10 bedrooms are there in Cleveland on Airbnb? Maybe you rent 10 bedrooms for $1,000 a night, right? Easy. So anyways, there's a lot of options when you're getting involved with that. And so we have Chris who says it's a deal. Chris also saying, is parking an issue? It could be an issue. This property happens to have a long driveway, so we can't have everyone park in the driveway. There's a garage at the end, which just may be converted into a game room, actually, an outside game room. But there is a backyard that would have to be sectioned off with very clear parking spots, because that is a lot of vehicles. Absolutely, street parking is okay in Cleveland, but you would want to avoid that as much as possible with this volume. So yes, it is a consideration, but we also have it covered. There's also instructions. I know I'm going on, but there's so much around this, so much value I want to give you. You can put instructions in the house, and like you write whose vehicle is where. If you did have to park in the driveway, with someone's phone number to call if ever they need to move. It's one of the potential issues when you're doing room rentals. It is. So parking, wonderful. So that's that. That is our deal reveal for today. I kind of went down what's happening on both sides from a passive and active investor standpoint. And we're stepping a little bit outside the Goldilocks zone for this one. Not completely turnkey, but definitely above 4 bedrooms. The price is in 150, and there's a little bit more renovations, but it's because it's one of those opportunities that I think there's more to go get. So that's why there are always outliers, right? That's the Goldilocks zone, but it doesn't mean that there's deals outside of that. So deal. Excellent, Brad. Yes, if you're interested in joining the Key to Freedom right now, it's a very lengthy interview process. Basically, you send us an email and we answer you, and we ask you a few questions and you're in. Okay. There could be zoning regulations, yes. So all that is part of it. People who are part of the Key to Freedom will invite you to join our short-term rental reset program and our Key to Freedom program, which is our 2 short-term rentals. And honestly, with these deal reveals, you get a sense of what we're looking for. We pair you up with an active member, or if you want to be the active, we pair you up with a passive, and off we go. I am physically in Cleveland myself, looking at deals, overseeing this. It's kind of my pet project for the year, and I'm really excited to bring more people in on it. Oh, last little announcement before we leave tonight. For all of you who are already in our community, if you're already in the NFTC experience, if you're a pal or a partner, don't miss the bus. It's the wrong slide that's here, by the way. Everyone's invited in April to not miss the bus for our epic blueprint in Florida. That's going to be in April. But I also want to let you know, for those who are already in the community, in the NFTC experience, PAL, partner, and above, you're invited to a very special get-together. It's like a members only. We don't do this very often, but we like to spend extra time with our community members. You have until tomorrow noon to tell us that you're coming for the February 3rd to February 6th get-together in our Magical Muggles Mansion in Florida. And so you have less than 24 hours to say you're coming. And because we have to make some final reservation edits if there are people adding in last minute. So what is this? It's a very relaxed, friendly environment where we'll get to spend a couple days together in a short-term rental themed property and do some masterminding. We're gonna have some crazy experiences. We got some VIP experiences that we've never done before in the JK brand. So if you were on the fence about it, highly recommend you don't miss it. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Janie and myself will be there, and some of the other JK strategists and community members. It's going to be intimate. I mean, we're not going to be 50 people, but it's going to be really nice, and just going to be a lot of one-on-one interactions. So that's that. We hope to see you there. Tomorrow noon is the deadline to join, and that's basically it. That's our deal reveal. So if you have a deal you want to submit, if you're interested in joining the Key to Freedom or any of the JK programs that we've mentioned, 2023 is going to be epic. So just send us an email, info@nowfortomorrow.club. Or if you have specific questions to any of the programs, go to success@nowfortomorrow.club. And one of our strategists is going to get a hold of you, ask you some questions, and get you on your journey. So have a great evening, everyone. For some of you, we'll see you in half an hour to finish up the New Year's Revolution and doing some vision pacing. So have fun, everyone. Take care. Now for tomorrow.
Don't wait for tomorrow.